The story begins at a quiet lake, where a young boy named Alec sits by the dock, fishing under the calm morning sky. Out of nowhere, a mysterious man appears. Eldas, a magician with sharp eyes and a calm presence. He asks Alec if he wants to learn magic. Without hesitation, the boy agrees. From that moment, Alec's life changes. Eldas begins his training by telling him to focus, to imagine that his comrades are in danger, and he must act to save them. After several failed attempts, Eldas instructs him to breathe slowly and open his eyes. Then he commands him to release his power. Alec obeys, and for the first time, he succeeds. Excited, he laughs, saying the spell was tougher than he expected, that it took him the whole day to get it right. Eldas replies with a faint smile, telling him that it would have taken a normal person a month to learn it. Alec proudly asks to learn another spell, but Eldas refuses, saying it's enough for one day. They shouldn't rush. Instead, he tells Alec to fish until dark. As they sit side by side, Alec complains that he wants to learn more, but Eldas chuckles and says, "You're a natural-born talent. You could learn even without my help." Alec, confused, asks why he's teaching him then. Eldas opens his mouth to answer but suddenly stops, as if remembering something painful. At that exact moment, his fishing rod shakes. He panics, asking Alec what to do. Alec laughs, teasing him. "You can use magic, but not catch a fish." Together, they pull it out of the water and burst into laughter. It's a peaceful moment, a teacher and student bound by warmth and simplicity. Days pass, then months. Alec studies magic from the books Eldas gives him. As seasons change and snow begins to fall, their lessons turn playful. They throw snowballs at each other using magic, laughing like family. But one morning, Eldas tells Alec he's leaving the capital. He warns him never to become a court magician, no matter what. Alec is confused and hurt, asking why he taught him magic in the first place. Eldas answers softly, "Because I owe your late mother a favor." He turns and walks away, leaving behind his student, his words, and a promise never explained. Years later, inside the Royal Magic Academy, we find Alec, now older, studying a book about Eldas. He learns that his teacher, once graduated top of his class, became a court magician, and was later banished. Suddenly, Eldas's warning makes sense. But instead of discouraging him, Alec vows to become a court magician himself, to change the court system and honor his mentor. However, things don't go as planned, because when Alec finally joins the royal court, his dream doesn't meet destiny. It collides with Prince Regulus. Regulus, the kind of royal brat who looks like he was born just to insult peasants between wine sips. Golden hair and the personality of a wet carpet. One day, in the middle of their expedition, he turns to Alec and says flatly, "You're fired." Alec blinks, confused. "What did I do?" The prince's voice drips with arrogance. "You didn't do your job properly. In our last battle, I fought on the front line. Lenny used her fire magic to destroy our enemy. Ix blocked the blows. And you? You sat back casting support spells like some academy dropout." Alec tries to explain, calmly, logically, but Regulus cuts him off mid-sentence. "Don't make excuses. Just admit it. Support magic is all you can do." The insult lands like a knife. Lenny, the fire mage, finally chimes in, her tone sweet but sharp enough to bleed. "Honestly, I kept quiet because you were assigned by the king himself. But the truth is, you're just scared to go deeper into the dungeon." Ix, the so-called shield, says, "She's right." And there it is, betrayal from every direction. Alec's party, his comrades, his supposed team, all turning on him like wolves who found a weaker one to chew on. The prince smirks, twisting the blade even deeper. "So the rumors about your talent were just fairy tales. The academy must have been desperate to hand out awards." Alec's voice trembles. He tries to speak, to defend himself, but Regulus suddenly notices a dagger at Alec's waist. A commoner carrying a weapon? How bold. He sneers, snatching it away. Alec tries to explain it's for safety in the dungeon, but the prince becomes furious and rips the court magician's robe off his shoulders. "You don't deserve to wear this." Alec stands there, silent, as the rest of the party walks away, leaving him behind. After being humiliated and abandoned, Alec returns to his study room that night. Despite everything, he worries for them, knowing that if they challenge the dungeon's 30th floor unprepared, they might die. So, he stays up late, writing detailed notes on monsters, traps, and spells to help them. By morning, he heads back to the capital to deliver it personally. But when he reaches the castle gates, the guards step in. Ordinary people can't enter the castle. They say coldly, "You're no longer a court magician." Alec opens his mouth to explain, but then she arrives. Lenny, the fire mage with a smile as sharp as her tongue. "Still clinging to your fantasy, commoner?" she mocks. Then she twists the knife deeper. "Oh, and that record you bragged about, clearing from floor 37 to 68? A bunch of lies." Alec, still calm, still too kind, hands her the notes. "Please, give this to King Furcus. It might help the prince survive." For a second, we think she'll take it. Instead, she smirks, rips the papers into shreds, and lets the pieces drift through the cold wind like dead feathers. Alec stands frozen, unable to believe what he just saw. Then she orders the guards to remove him. Without a word, he turns and leaves. Later that day, wandering through town in despair, Alec suddenly hears a familiar voice. "Alec!" It's Yorha, his old friend from the academy. She runs up to him and hugs him tightly, smiling despite his sorrow. By the riverside, he tells her everything that happened. Yorha listens quietly, then sighs. "I hate this kingdom," she says, still trapped by stupid noble and commoner rules. "Come with me to Fizzle, the dungeon city. Let's hit dungeons like the old days." Alec hesitates, but eventually Alec looks up for the first time in a long while, and he agrees. They pack up and leave together. Meanwhile, back at the royal castle, the snakes continue to hiss. Prince Regulus lounges in his chair, wine in hand, laughing as he trashes Alec's name. "The so-called prodigy? Please, I'd love to see that coward in action," he laughs. Lenny, ever the lapdog, pours more wine and adds, "We'll no longer work with useless commoners. Only with Lord Vogan, the genius son of Duke Fornius, a proper noble." Regulus grins, the sound of his arrogance echoing through the hall. "Yes, we'll blaze through dungeons like never before. The world will remember our names." And Somewherix, the quiet follower, simply mutters, "She said it." Regulus bursts into laughter, completely unaware that their rise has already started to rot. Cut to Fizzle, the dungeon city. Alec and Yorha arrive, the smell of adventure and monster guts in the air. Yorha smiles, explaining how adventurers here are treated as equals. No nobles, no hierarchy, just survival. She mentions her party's base near the western ruins and drags Alec to the Adventurers Guild to register. Inside, the receptionist, Misha, greets them with that fake customer service smile that could kill hope on sight. To go beyond the 30th floor, you'll need a guild pass. Those are only given to members with at least 2 years in a registered guild. Yorha freezes, her excitement crashing harder than a boss's punch. When she asks why her party member Krasia didn't handle it, Misha drops the bomb. "Oh, she came, but she tried to threaten us for it." Both Alec and Yorha sit there, completely stunned. A moment of silence follows. Then Yorha sits down with Alec to eat sandwiches. As she takes a bite, she mutters, 2 years, we can't wait that long. We're already on floor 52. But she quickly shakes it off and stands. "Fine. We'll warm up by clearing the early floors. Pass or not, we start now." Welcome to Fizzle, the dungeon city. Into the dungeon. Alec moves like lightning, slicing through small red flying monsters, red flappers, his speed enhanced by Yorha's support spells. But then the creatures start panicking. Something's wrong. Yorha casts a barrier and walks forward confidently. Alec warns her. It's not safe. But Yorha smirks. What happened to the Alec who never backed down? She's reckless, brave but reckless. The monsters swarm her shield, hammering it with wings and claws. Alec grits his teeth and then remembers. He's not a court magician anymore. No rules, no orders, just him and his will to protect. He channels his mana, the air trembling. Yorha notices the glow, and then boom. Alec unleashes a raging fire spell that burns every red flapper to ashes. Yorha proud relieved. That's the Alec I remember. But the swarm's not done yet. More come. Hundreds. Yorha throws up a massive shield, and Alec begins his chant. A blinding circle forms beneath his feet. Thunder roars, the walls crack, and then thunder oblivion. The entire swarm disintegrates in an explosion of light and sound. Alec exhales. Yorha smiles. For a moment, it's peace, until the ground shakes, and a massive worm erupts from below, jaws wide enough to crush a carriage. It grabs Yorha in one strike, lifting her off the ground. Alec freezes, then his instincts kick in. That's what scared the flappers, he mutters. Yorha, trapped but calm, yells, "You've got the strongest offense, Alec. I'll handle defense." Her shield glows, protecting her from being crushed. Alec raises his wand, flames spiraling like a living beast. Let's finish this. A blazing dragon forms above him, roaring with heat. He fires, blazing tornado. The fire dragon slams into the worm, twisting, burning, and devouring it whole. Ashes rain down as Yorha lands safely inside her shimmering bubble. When she runs to Alec, her eyes sparkle. "You really are the strongest magician in the world." Alec shyly agrees. Later, we see Yorha's entire party battling a hydra, a nightmare of scales and flame. The knight's spear bounces off its hide. The archer's arrows barely scratch it. As chaos erupts, the hydra's fireball scorches the air. Yorha blocks it with an ice wall, then counters lightning with an earth shield. But she's burning out. The monster is too strong. And then a familiar voice echoes. "Need a hand?" Alec appears, power crackling around him. He fuses 5 elemental spells into one massive blast. The ground shakes, and the hydra disintegrates into dust. Silence. Then cheers erupt. Their record rises again, clearing up to level 68. Alec smiles faintly. After years of being ignored, insulted, and abandoned, he's finally where he belongs, among comrades who believe in him. That was Episode 1, The Magician's Promise.